Welcome to the Planet Purl video tutorial, Introduction to Intarsia, Part 2. So we're working on our chart here, and we've worked along with the greens and the blue. And so now let's look at cleaning up as we go. Because you can see we've finished with this green in the row we're on. So it's just a bobbin we don't need. So cut it or break it. This is superwash. It uses a little more muscle to get it broken. But so we're just going to clean up all the bobbins we're not using. So we're not using the green anymore. We're just using the blue and the cream. Now, let's look, and I generally look 2 rows down to see what's dangling and not being used. So let's move along and do our next row of our chart. So we're ready to change to blue. We're on the purl side, as you can tell. We're ready to change to blue. So we're going to pick the blue up underneath. So the off-white is over. The blue is under. So we're crossing those yarns. And then we're going to knit our stitches in blue. All right, so we're crossing colors again. So the blue goes up and the off-white goes under, because that's the new color we'll be working with. The new color always goes under the old. So we'll pick up that off-white underneath. And we'll finish the row. So let's look to see if we can get rid of anything else. You can see this is the end of the green. So we no longer need that green either. So one less bobbin to worry about. So I've moved along a little bit, and you're catching me up on row 11. If you're knitting with me, pause and wait till you're at row 11. So we're going to introduce another color, pink and pink. So we need 2 small pink bobbins. So just like we did before, we're going to hold the yarn together or tie a small half hitch knot in there. If you're a beginner, I recommend the half hitch knot method just because you'll feel more secure. Pick up the white underneath. Knit to where the blue is, and of course on this row we're going 1 in. We're going to only have 3 blue stitches instead of 5, so we're going 1 in and 1 short of the row before, all the way to the last stitch, which will turn pink. Well, it's going to turn pink because you're going to make it turn pink. So the white goes up, the blue comes underneath. We're going to do our 3 stitches of blue. And then the blue comes up. The off-white comes under. We're going to do off-white all the way to the last stitch. And then we're going to join another pink bobbin. And do that one stitch. So now we're done with this blue, but something else is going to happen here. So you can see on this row, we've got the 2 pink, and then it's all of the background and then the 3. And for these next few rows, there's nothing in between the 2 pink dots. So as you can see, I've done a couple rows here. Not only are we done with the blue, which we can go ahead and break the bobbin. Ouch. But we had 2 white bobbins going at the same time when the blue dot was separating the background stitches. But we don't need this anymore because now we're just working with that uninterrupted off-white. You see here the blue splits the background, but in here there's no split in the background. So you're only using 1, but you'll use 2 up again here when the orange splits it, the bright red splits it. So if you look, and anything that's dangling a couple rows down is something you're not using. As you can see, this is 3 or 4 rows down. So you can break it off, and it's 1 less bobbin to get tangled in the mess behind there. We're just using that 1 of white. So I finished up the swatch here and bound it off. And you can see we've created this cute little polka dot. Adorable for a scarf or for a child's garment. And now the ugly side. This is the downside to Intarsia, which is pretty side, ugly side. So you're going to have a lot of little ends to weave in. And then if you didn't knot your yarn, you'll, when you're weaving in your ends, you're going to close those little holes from the first stitch of every place you changed your color. So you can see if you can just run the stitch right through the little back of that stitch when you're to snug up when you're weaving in. And that's how you do Intarsia. So here's an example. This is a felted bag from tinknit.com, and Marta McCall is the designer. All these flowers and leaves were knit in Intarsia, and then the edges were needle felted, and all the little detail was needle felted on. Chelsea and Tally Bell demonstrate the difference between solid color and Intarsia knitting. Come visit us soon at planetpurl.com.